In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to read your opponent. I didn't show you guys if I won or lost this one because I want to explain, like, you'll see, I'm going to explain about, what goes on in this match that gets us, like, so weird. So, right off the bat, I drop my barbs because I'm like, alright, if he's not pushing, then I'll push. But you can already see, I have spear goblins that can help take care of the baby drag, and I have arrows for his goblin barrel already. Or his minions. But, we'll see. So he does drop the barbarians down along with the baby dragon, and that's a strong push for a 9. And he's not going to take my tower because that bomber takes care of those barbs pretty easy. His minions take care of my barbs pretty easy, just shreds them. But now my musketeer's on the other side of the lane, like, that just doesn't help. And I wasted my arrows. But this is the first 40 seconds of the game, so you're really gonna see what cards he has and what cards he doesn't have. And really, I'm reading getting my tower taken is okay with me because I know what my opponent has now, and I have the cards to defend that. So I make my stuff on rotation, and I knew he had a musketeer, so I mean my epic army is gonna take care of his 4. So my 4/4 trade-off, and I'm gonna have to. I gave myself a new tower that can actually fight back splash damage, except not air. Now I know he has a Balloonian, so I just used my goblin spears, my spear goblins. They get shredded to bits, so I put down my musketeer, and now we're kind of on a good rotation. Like, yeah, I'm losing health, but I know what he has. And of course, he uses barbs, so I'm gonna counter him. I mean, I didn't really expect him to use his barbs there because that's such a high cost troop. And then I counter his minions with my minions with the help from the king. And of course he uses his god barrels, but I'm ready for it, so I have my arrows. And boom, taken care of already. Now I'm just trying to save up my elixir for a push. I want to push the left side because I don't, he has the least amount of health there, 540. Of course, I don't have really anything to defend from the baby drag, so I put down my spear gobs, put down the musketeer, because I knew he was going to send the balloon in, so he does double damage because he's trying to hurry up and 3-crown me. If you know he's trying to put the pressure on you, then it's easier to counter, because you'll know what he puts down, because he's going to try to get big. Putting down that musketeer there is kind of questionable, but I just put down my epic army anyway, because that cannon really can't take that epic army. I didn't know he had that fireball, but he didn't really take out my musketeer, so that's his fault. Like, I probably wouldn't have gotten the tower if he took down the musketeer, with the fireball. But I was able to stall and use my bomb tower, to defend. And really, the bomb tower is underrated. Like, the only reason why the bomb tower isn't used is you can't really get a push. But most of the cards in Clash Royale are ground units. They are ground units, and so now I know he has a fireball, so now I'm going to have to put on the pressure, because he can just rotate, and of course his minions are going to clean up my army, my skeleton army, but I did put down spear goblins and minions to defend from that, and I did that because I knew I had a musketeer, so the musketeer can easily defend from the baby dragon push. And look at my arrows are in sync with his goblin barrel. The keys, once you know what he has in his deck, you want to rotate your deck around his deck as well, so you can counter it and you can push, and you need to know. And I express this every time. You need to know what's in his deck. Like, those barbs can't really touch my bomb tower. Like, I knew he had barbs, so I was like, that's fine. And I knew the bomb tower was going to be able to take the barbs, and I put the bomb tower down because I knew he had a balloon, so it gets pulled. It gets pulled across the screen, and guess what I have for his goblin barrels? Arrows. Goblin barrels aren't really that annoying. And honestly, if I had more time, I would have taken his. I might have actually taken his tower. It would have been. I knew he had fireball. But I don't know. I think I would have had it, especially with the spirit goblins doing that extra damage and the musketeer. So basically, and there's one more. I think we have time for one more. I'm pretty sure. You know what? Let's check this one out. This was a close one. This was a pretty close one. I think it was. It might have not been. I might have destroyed this kid. Okay, so you know, I don't, as you can tell, I don't really build my elixir up. Now, that trade wasn't really that great. He had a giant skeleton versus his 6-cost skeleton versus my 4-cost skeleton. Come on. But now I know he has that. And you can see I changed my deck up a little bit with the knight. This actually eventually worked out in my favor, which is great. That P.E.K.K.A. is just gonna get clobbered by my minions, my bomber, and my knight. I mean, the knight is a good unit all around in these lower levels because of the damage and health it has. It's a low-cost walking tank. See, he had I didn't use my army. I didn't use my arrows there because I had my army camp, and I was like, that's fine because my arrows are gonna be ready. They're gonna be done. They're gonna be ready to use in like half a second. So that's fine. And you see he pulled out his baby drag. Musketeer, baby. Musketeer. Or you can use witch. Witches are good too. I don't recommend minions facing a dragon unless you have a horde, because the dragon just does splash damage to everything, and so it's just a waste, honestly. You would want to use minions to, like, I would say either like a musketeer, some barbs. Minion versus barbs, or minion versus giant, or minion versus balloons is great if you want to have ideas for your deck. And now, this is going in my favor, even though I feel like may have had stronger cards. My low-cost cards, I had a quantity of low-cost cards, which countered his high-cost card. See, again, I'm not really too worried about that tower. I just let it get, you know, I arrow it just to speed up the process, but I didn't need to. I did to save my tower, but again, he has those drags, which just clean up my barbs. Any flying unit, like, is crazy. It's splash damage just destroys barbs, man. You gotta really know when to use them. My knight to distract the dragon. Musketeer down, take care of the dragon. Giant, you know, giant skeletons again. I mean, giant skeleton versus my army. Easy peasy. Now this push is interesting, but I used that barb because I wanted to take care of the giant. And again, I saved up my arrows because I knew he had that goblin. And it just worked out in my favor because I had enough my barbs had enough health to stall for my spear goblins. And I didn't really need to put down that army skeleton because, I mean, that skeleton army, because those giant, honestly, I had faith that those spear goblins would have done something. And then this is my push I'm using. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he uses giant here to distract me on defense. And then he tries Goblin Barrel, but again, I have arrows. Like, don't keep Goblin Barrel. Don't keep, yeah, you know, Goblin Barrel a tower if you know the person has minions. Like, that's just not going to be good. And you see that dragon dude just cleans up, man. But I had a lot of units already there, so they were able to take this tower. Now, that wasn't really, he didn't do a too good job of reading me. But I was able to read him and know what would work in the end. I knew he had I was too worried. I didn't keep track of the giant Lenny at the end because I just was out of focus at pushing the tower against the dragon, that I just sent in my skeleton army just in case he had that giant skeleton. I can show you guys some other videos another time about reading your opponent, but for now I have to get back to getting up to 1,000 trophies as a level 2 and, you know, getting my chest back. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video reading. Hopefully this helped you in your clashing adventures a little bit. But yeah, tell me what you think, if this worked, if this didn't work, any more advice, anything I didn't mention in the video that you guys, anyone that, you know, plays the game wants to tell other people as well. That'd be, you know, phenomenal. But make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and yeah, this is the video. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.